The Pink Pulpits Podcast, the gospel according to her. The Pink Pulpits Podcast explores the living, learning, and leading of women in the 21st century. How does the modern woman handle the world the gospel way? This podcast is for women in ministry, women surrounded by ministry, and so many more. Join us weekly on Saturdays at 6 p.m. for the Pink Pulpits Podcast, the gospel according to her.
That is not how I'm getting ready to handle this. That is not how I'm getting ready to allow this to now take me out and not keep me on the path of where I know I'm supposed to be going.
Yes. So immediately the Holy Spirit tells me no turning back.
Wow.
And I was like, and then God gives me the instruction that it's going to be brand new. Like everything is about to be brand new. Life about to be brand new. Like
wow.
Everything brand new. I get married. The same weekend she told me I was going to get married. She told me something was going to happen Martin Luther King weekend. It was the wedding. So I get married Martin Luther King weekend. I get pregnant immediately after. I have our daughter. She's named after both our mothers. And I started to move in business. And then I started to feel this huge wave to shut down the way business was. In 2017, I got this whisper to shut down the way business was operating and to get ready for the new. So quickly.
I want you to, because I want you to remember your point, but I need you to say this because this is not you making this move because you are hurting or that business is not good.
Mm-mm.
You are at the height.
Mm-hmm.
You hear this word, because I really need people to understand when I talked about you at the beginning and who you are, your obedience is what has set you up for where you are right now. Because most people be like, okay, God, when this thing, kind of dies down or when I see it kind of flitting out, you at the height, you are killing, you are selling, there is no reason to do nothing else.
No
and
reason.
You hear from God, you have to have true integrity with God to do something like that.
That even now like moves me in a certain kind of way, even from your observation and just the way you just broke that even down like that, because man, yeah.
You were dedicated to, I'm going to obey God. He's the one that's been guiding me the whole way. This is so rich because sometimes we lean on God in these difficult moments. But when we on the high and when we on the up, we don't know how to still continue to let him be the guide and the direction and the force, the same force that brought us out of these predicaments is the same God that is trying to get you even to a greater space. You think this is good. This ain't nothing to compare to where he really is trying to take you. And what you said is the same one. Even though I may be riding this wave, I'm going to listen and obey the voice of God. That's huge. That hear me. You got to have integrity with God. You got to really obey him, want to obey him to do something like that.
Man. And you really bring a tear to my eyes right now because I even saw where it says obedience is better than sacrifice. Because I'm going to tell you, I've heard that before. For some reason in this moment, I even internalized that differently. Because I used to hear that and it's sort of like, okay. But now I really see, because when God told me to do that in 2018, he said, shut it down, write the letter. Tell the customers. And I had people, I could show you. People said to me last time, girl, I'm about to have a heart attack. Where am I going to go now? This and that. You know what I mean? Like, because
I saw it for myself. I was there in Houston, Texas. There was no reason for you to shut the doors down. And I don't even want to tell a story for you, but it's so powerful. Because this really always a setup. We think that God's trying to take something from us. Or we like, this can't be God. This can't be God. And God is saying, I know the end before. I know the in between. I know what's getting ready to go down. And if you just listen to me, I promise you, I'm getting ready to take you around this thing and get you to an ultimate place. No, you talking. And this needs to be for somebody today, because God done told them to do something and they ain't doing it, and they wondering why they out there floundering, but they need to just obey God. I need y'all to go and just say to yourself, I need to obey God.
I need to obey God. I need to obey. I need to and treat them like bae. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get up in them like, okay, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of thing. He even told me, girl, I never thought, like, he even told me take a sabbatical. Like, certain things that I'm like, what? Like, like, because for me, I've never been, and still, I'm not so much self-aware of who I am, if you know what I mean.
Like, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
I have no heart towards it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some things I feel like, oh, that's what they do. I don't do that. You know what I mean? So I remember like even taking a sabbatical. Like, I need you to go to this country. I need you to go over here. I need you to go explore. I need you to see. I need you to discover. I need things to be revealed to you. I need to show you some stuff. And that's what I had to go on this journey of. And I had to tell people, look, I don't know why this needs to happen right now, but it does. I will keep us in community because that's the purpose of LAMIK. So I literally held events almost every month, quarterly, to keep community.
Yeah.
To keep community. So I never disappeared per se, but I just kept community, but it wasn't in the way of which it was before, because God, like, to your point, something was coming up. So to get us fast forward to that point, I remember being in the back of New Light, and I'm there, and I'm talking to actually one of the PAs, and she's asking me like, "Oh, what's next?" Like, because sometimes when people see you make a certain move, they're like, "Okay, what you got?
What you got up next?"
And I seriously have no answer for this question, right? Because my thing is once you go ask God, like, that's really my thing. I don't want to sound too crazy and radical, right? So I'm just like, so what I said to her in that moment, I said, I'm building the makeup line for 2020. I'm building the makeup line for 2020. This is 2018. I ended up applying for a tech accelerator. I get in, I moved to Austin. Well, I traveled to Austin, Texas every week. Left my family. Shout out to my husband who held it down. Left my family every week. Went to Austin, was in this tech accelerator, took this. I was like, God started to form, and he didn't tell me everything at one time. He didn't tell me everything at one time. You know what he told me? Journal.
Wow.
Journal. And that's what I did. I remember because I couldn't take from what I was already doing. I was at a friend's house, sleeping at a friend's house, on this journey of trying to do. And I remember just journaling, God, like, just journal on this couch right now, laying on this couch. That's where you're sleeping at. Journal about that. Journal about the new people you're meeting and how you're feeling like a fish out of the pond. Journal about that. Journal about, just like all the things. And I have that script. I call it a manuscript because one day God might use it for something.
Oh, no, he gonna use it. No, he gonna use it. He gonna use it. I'm telling you that now. That's why he told you to journal, because he's getting ready to use it to get some folk free and get some people to launch out into the deep for what he already has prepared for them. Absolutely.
And so I journaled, and girl, I was like, okay, I thought it was only supposed to last like 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, God, we're gonna do this about 6 months. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna show the revelation. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna just
it's about to just pop off. And because this was 2018, and this was the end of 2018, and I was like, okay, God, you about to. And then God had me do certain things, this and that, and I was like, all right, okay. Surely it's time for me to like launch this national makeup brand. Like, and then God was like, no, not yet. Go be a part of this program. Okay, go back. And during this time, I'm like the only Black woman in these tech accelerators that I'm in. The only Black woman. And I hadn't experienced that. All the time when I was running my makeup shop, Black women was coming. I'm feeling like myself. It's my first time starting to have like imposter syndrome and just all of these other different things I started to feel and understand, because I never worked in corporate before. So I didn't just understand microaggressions. I mean, all the stuff that,
Right.
Yeah. And I started to experience all those different things. I started to understand. Now I want to build a high growth company. So now it's like, okay, you need to raise money, venture capital, like all of this stuff. My store, when I had my store, that wasn't built on that. That was built on saving up, money, maybe a loan or two, something like that. Now we're talking about something different. And so I was like, oh my goodness. But when I tell you the top of 2020 comes, I had been doing community events, bringing community together. I got a call from Netflix to host a film screening for Tyler Perry. He was doing his first film on Netflix at the top of 2020. And it was his first time doing a streaming, like doing the whole thing.
Doing the whole thing, yeah.
And I hosted his screening in Houston, and he showed up and all the things. And I was like, oh, this 2020 about to be crazy. Like I was like,
so you get all set up for 2020.
Yeah, I'm like, 2020 about to be crazy. But when I go back and think about it though, like me hosting his first streaming,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, reveal was like a big deal, right? Yeah. Not knowing what my next about to be. So I'm set up. I done went through the tech accelerator. So now I'm using, everybody talking about AI now. We already were using AI on our website. We ready 2020. We got an AI powered quiz to tell you what you need, make recommendations. We're using virtual, we're using artificial sort of intelligence in that way. And then we're also using virtual try on, where we virtually can try on products and all that. So I'm ready to go. The pandemic happened. March 2020, we launched in March 2020, e-commerce online. And God was like, yeah, this is it right here. This why. Like, right. And I went full steam into that thing. I started live selling on Facebook. I started doing all this stuff, went right in. And God was showing me then. He said, I gave you 2020 vision at a time where you thought you had lost the vision. At a time where you couldn't even tell nobody what the vision was, but it wasn't for me to tell. It was for me to be with him and to create and to get the eyes of Christ, to get, to get, how I say amazing grace. I once was blind, but now I see, but to be able to get that. And he was like, I gave you 2020 vision when you thought you lost your vision. Because can I be real? I thought I lost my vision when I said I had to close that store, because I had it hit me so hard. Like I had to do it. But I couldn't tell you what was next. That's horrible. That feels horrible.
You said, I know I'm supposed to, but I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing.
And God was like, I was giving you 2020 vision. And so I don't think I should get a pat on the back for trusting God. I think that people should just learn from my story that God will ask you to do things that are not what people would tell you to do. And this is for the miraculous stuff. This is for the no man can open up the door or close the door kind of stuff. This is the stuff that we dream up or we hear about from others, and we're like, really? This is that kind of stuff. Because now, to say that 2020 I launched like that, and I did not have the weight of, because my business model back then was so service intense that none of that would have worked for the 2020.
Enjoying the Pink Pulpits Podcast? Era. Be sure to like and follow us on Spotify at Pink Pulpits Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube at Pink Pulpits Podcast. Like and save our website at pinkpulpits.org and get our amazing No More Silly Women app to get all updates on the Pink Pulpits Podcast. And remember, it's the gospel according to her.
But I know they might have questioned what I was doing. Same folks, I embraced them, came to me like, I seen that you've been doing this tech stuff. So how do I do this? How do I set this up real quick? And I was able to help in ways that people didn't even know about Zoom. I was like, we've been Zooming. Like, I've been a part of this tech stuff. We've been Zooming. Like those were the things that we were able to do. And God gave me 2020 vision.
In 2017. He gave you 2020 vision in 2017. And that in itself is just, somebody needs to hear that, and they need to get it, and they need to get the vision for 2024 and 2025 so that they can really launch out and get it. So let's talk about this. Okay, so here it is, because God set you the overall weight of the building. He has literally made it so that you are ready before time. You are killing it in this space. Then how do you make the leap to Ulta, baby? How do you make the leap to Ulta? Let's talk about who you are in Ulta and who they don't have in Ulta.
Who they don't have. So first of all, I must say that I did a beauty pitch competition, a national beauty pitch competition. And the first place winner, a part of that was getting on Ulta.com. And so, number one, I had to put myself out there. I had to apply. I had to take my shot. I had to do those things, and I did. And Black Girl Ventures is an organization that another beautiful Black woman created. She partnered with Rare Beauty Brands, which is a larger beauty conglomerate, and they had the relationship with Ulta. And they brought Ulta to the table and said, hey, whoever wins this pitch competition, first place is going to get on Ulta.com. And the catch was people had to vote. And so I have to thank our community. All of that community building I was doing.
I heard you when you pulled up. You didn't have to blow. You said, I have been building community all these years. So you know what I'm getting ready to do? I'm getting ready to tap into my what? Community. And I'm getting ready to tell them to start voting for your girl.
Right. I equate that to church, though. Being raised in church, we just learn community, looking out for each other.
Absolutely.
Learn looking out for each other. And guess what? If you want to be isolated all day and by yourself, that's cool until you need people. You know what I mean? And so, I tapped into the community, and they was ready. They're ready to go. They locked and loaded. They like, let's go.
What you need us to do? What push one button? What we need to do?
And they did that. And it came down to the wire because, again, some other folks had bigger resources than me. You know what I'm saying? But baby, that community stood up and was like, I got your back. People stayed up all night calling other people. I mean, all of the things. And we made it to first place, and we launched on Ulta. Now, I didn't know we were going to make history with this. If people don't know, LAMIK is a clean color cosmetic brand, meaning we're paraben free, we're talc free, we're cruelty free, we're vegan. We are just more conscious about the ingredients we use in the brand. And Ulta has this conscious beauty section, a conscious beauty platform with their whole assortment, and where the products that are more conscious, which they look through, you have to go, they fine tooth comb all the ingredients, all that stuff. You have to sort of get that approval. There's still an approval from them. And you can be conscious beauty, where we're conscious beauty, we're clean beauty, and a clean makeup line. And so we became the first Black-owned clean makeup brand to launch on Ulta. And we made history with that. And that's significant because 75% of beauty products marketed to women of color are toxic.
Say that again.
75% of beauty products marketed to women of color are toxic. And remember, we only buy what's marketed to us. Like most of us don't make real decisions about what we really like. It's just what keep coming up. It's just keep happening. So what's marketed to you is toxic. And I would elaborate on that, even though that's the research and that's the truth. And lawsuits are coming out, all this stuff. So we're finding out that it's very, very much true. So many places have done research on this data. But I would also expand. I believe that even the images that they serve us are toxic. And so I had to understand that my mom's, even my mom loving makeup, and me looking at like some of the, what could it be some of the contributing factors? Like what are different things that put you at risk? And personal care products, makeup was just one of them, beauty products. And so that became this true passion around it. So we made history with that. And then I did another competition, another beauty pitch, and we got on the Home Shopping Network.
I see that.
Yes. And we are the first Black-owned clean makeup brand to launch on HSN. And I don't know. I mean, my story, I don't know if anybody out there can identify with this, but y'all, I just have to keep it 100 with you. None of this happened with a bunch of money. None of this happened with sort of like, it all like happened by the grace of God. And that's why I'm so connected to ministry through what I do, because it's no way that this could have happened without God saying so. And we come up against challenges all the time, and always having to like be creative and do all of those things. And I think God has me go through those things just to show people you can too. You can too. And I have seen here recently where companies that have been way more funded than us, that are, competitors in the space, have crumbled. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I just like, if I had this, I could do this. If I had something, I could. And God is showing me, if you got me, right? That's all you need, and you can do what needs to be done. Because Nicole, this is a long game that I'm playing here. This is a long game. This is a long game. This is a long game.
This is so good. Let me say this to you. You have given us the formula for how to win. The first thing you said was, I wrote down my 1-year goal and my 5-year goal. The second thing that I did is I journaled. Third thing I did was I put myself out there. Fourth thing, I built community. I mean, you have given us the formula for how you become a international brand. And here it was that you were doing this for two reasons. One, because you love to see women beautiful, but because when you watched, because of something your mother was in love with and the toxic nature of it, how do I take that and make my passion and bring that together? Yes. And man, and then lastly, you said, I obey God. And if you got God, you got more than enough to do whatever it is that God's calling you to do. Do you?
First of all, you make me run in here right now, because even in this moment, God has me obeying him in even newer ways. That I'm like, where, and I even people that are looking, I mean, if you get to see me right now, you might see no hair on my head. You might be wondering what happened, right? Even in this, God, I could have a wig on. I could have anything, right? God told me to fast on that. Just hold on that real quick, because there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wearing a wig. Right. God told me fast on that for a second though, because I need to show the people something. You are the face of a beauty brand. I need to show the people something real quick. And it seems like every time I don't have something, that's exactly what, it's almost like the need is what's needed to reach the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, don't I need this? Don't I need money? Don't I need help? Don't I need what? And you're like, no. What you need is actually what I need. What I need, the other people need to feel the need to get connected to me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that is something that I'm like, okay, because I can't tell you, how I have had to evolve in my own mindset. And now the path that he has me going, taking, even more risk, feeling like, this and that. He's like, oh, you chasing ego or you chasing my goal, right?
Ooh, put that in the chat. Are you chasing ego or are you chasing God's goal? Love it. Say it. That's it. Let me just say this. I could talk to you all day. No, hear me. And I want you to hear me when I say this to you. I honor you.
Mm-hmm.
You are not just when I tell you, even in this moment,
Mm-hmm.
you have said something to me that I got to get back to something in particular. And what I want you to understand is you have freed a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
That you really are you are a kingdom boss chick.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't just talking about it. What I'm saying is you are still here. I mean, because you really don't, you know who you are, but you don't know who you are. Let me just tell you, you are this, you are a brand. You are in Ulta. Do you understand me when I'm talking to you? And you are still in the trenches. You're still down in, I mean, you the one putting on faces and you the one doing, you have put your hands to the plow and you ain't playing. You ain't coming up until you get everything that God said. So let me say this to you. I honor you. I believe in you. I thank you for living out loud and for doing it in front of us unapologetic, but allowing us to see your pulpit, your marketplace pulpit, and that you will tell us everything. See, a lot of us get there and we won't tell nobody nothing, and we be like, shoot, I found out. They need to find out. But when I tell you, you are telling all. You be like, girl, go over here, do this, don't do this, do that. I got 5 people over here. You will share. And that's what this Pink Pulpit, the gospel according to her, is about. So where can we find you? How can we get our eyebrows on fleek like yours? What do we do?
So I want y'all to please connect with us on Instagram at LAMIK Beauty, on TikTok, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. All of those places, on Twitter, on X now, but at LAMIK Beauty, but particularly go to our website and put in your email address so that you can be a part of our community and you can know what's going on. If you go to our Instagram page and you go to our profile and our link tree, you can click there too and join our email list. But I want you to get on our email list, get on our text message, get on something so you can know what's going on and you can be a part of this movement. It doesn't take much. We sell beautiful glosses for your lips. We sell, beautiful mascara, things that are so simple for you to take advantage of to be a part of this. Because I do believe that the kind of work we're doing and the effects and the benefits of it, you just want to be connected to it. Like you just don't want to be like, I'm not a part of that. It's when it's so easy to be a part of it, right? So make sure you do that. And I think the first time when you go on our website, there's like a coupon for like 15% off for like the first time.
Yes, you get 15% off the bat. So tell them to go today and you can get your brow kit.
Yes.
I use mine. Look at mine. Hear me. Well, if she gives you 15% off your first purchase. So put your email address in and make sure you join the community. So let me tell you, I want to close like this. Okay. If you were a preacher, how would you sum up today's podcast? And I want you to start, you know how preachers close, be like, I'll close here. So I want you to close it out and say, here's my close, or I'll close here.
I'm coming to my close, okay?
There you go. I'm coming to my close. That's good. That's good.
I'm coming to my close. And, summing up today's podcast, I just have to say, what I think you got from this is that I can root for another sister. And it doesn't take anything away from me. From this example, if I was watching this right now, I'd just be like, they sure is bagging each other up. They sure is excited about one another, and that would encourage me to go do that for somebody else. If you hear next, you hear this. And then the second thing I would say, just in closing, it's like, man, that girl regular. Is she doing that? Ain't nothing super special. I'm sitting up here bald headed, right? No eyebrows. Got to fill them in. Like, I am just as regular, dark skinned, like, just
beautiful.
beautiful.
Hear me,
but just regular, and that God will take regular, okay, and make it front page worthy. And so that's what I just want you to know. And I want you to feel that, and I want you to take that, and don't get lost in the sauce of what you see everybody else, what's coming off their saucer, what's coming off their plate. Look at them, and I want you to root for them, and then I want you to know that God has a place for you.
You know what? I love you for real, y'all. Just go today, buy everything on the site, put your email so that you can be a part of the community. We are going higher. Ulta ain't that's just a stop. That ain't even the HSN was just a stop. Y'all, this is the real deal. And this makeup will not kill you. How about that? Okay. So you guys, I pray that you have met us in the pulpit, that you've enjoyed this conversation. And you all know we're doing the pulpit of the marketplace and pulpit ministry. And this has been the gospel according to her. I'm telling you, we are doing it. And you see, Kim Roxie is doing it. Join me next week for another conversation about life choices and our goals. We're doing life together. Women, by women, for women. The gospel according to her. I'll see you next week.
Tune in next week for the Pink Pulpits Podcast, the gospel according to her. Be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe this amazing weekly podcast with your host, Lady Nicole Green. That's right, the Pink Pulpits Podcast, the gospel according to her.